Hey everybody! Does your need for perfection ever prevent you from taking action? Perfectionism is the perfect approach to nearly ensure your failure. And that's what we'll be talking about on today's live. Hi, I'm Christy Holt, CEO of Helping Others Live Their Best Life and creator of the 5-Day Mindset Makeover Challenge. I help women get off the diet roller coaster and finally get the lasting results they desire, all while keeping it fun. Here's what I know for sure. The only way to get off the diet roller coaster is with a mindset makeover. Now, this is my first Facebook Live in a very long time, and honestly, I'm a little bit nervous. So if you're watching along live or on the replay, please post a comment so I know that it's working, so that I can see how that all works. That'll be great. So thanks so much. Okay. I've been really busy working on something, and I'm going to spill the tea about it all really soon. But first, I'm going to start by kicking off these weekly lives, which I'm going to call Mindset Matters, because they'll be on various topics as they relate to mindset and your overall wellness. It's my intention to show up here every Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time with quick and easy steps to help you start living your best life. Speaking of easy steps, today I'm going to be sharing some simple steps that you can take to let go of perfectionism. Many people think that perfectionism is maybe even a healthy trait. In fact, I recall using this in my past when asked about a specific weakness that I might have had. And in my mind, I secretly was thinking, they asked for a weakness, but I am telling them that I am very detail-oriented and looking at that as a strength. I guess in the accounting field, I was kind of right that they did look at it that way, because I did manage to find a job, even with that strategy. Being detail-oriented, of course, can be a good thing, but the added pressure of perfectionism can really keep us feeling overwhelmed and stuck. A lot of the time, perfectionism leads to an all-or-nothing thinking, which really can keep you sidelined and prevent you from taking the action you needed to reach your goals. It can be really difficult to even get started when the fear of not getting it perfect takes over. It doesn't have to be that way, though. So let's talk about 3 areas where you might be struggling with a perfectionism attitude so that you can work past it and finally start winning. I'm going to be mainly talking about these mindset issues as they relate to health and wellness goals, but of course, any of these tips or strategies can be applied to many other areas of life and different types of goals as well. All right, let's dive in. First of all, stop waiting for the perfect time. All right, we all do this. We spend a ton of time planning, preparing. The timing just isn't right. You plan to start Monday, and then something comes up. You plan to wait till after the birthday party that's next weekend, and then something else comes up. The perfect timing never shows up, and then you remain stuck in inaction, waiting for the perfect timing. Basically, you fail to start. So, how do you overcome? Well, you're going to break out of inaction and jumpstart your progress by taking small, imperfect action today. You don't need to prepare any more before taking the simplest of steps. And of course, don't forget, you can always collect more information, more tools, strategies, and tactics along the way. Alternatively, don't worry if you think you should be doing more, because even though it's insignificant, as long as you are consistent with your action, you'll be moving closer to your goal. All right. Next thing, stop roadblocking yourself because your plan isn't perfect yet. I know you have lots of ideas, all kinds of diet options and forms of exercise. It's overwhelming and you can't even decide where you might want to start. Even if you do have a plan, maybe you feel like it isn't quite right, and so you're still not taking action. Does this ring a bell? I know I can relate. So how do we overcome this? Well, we want to avoid getting overwhelmed and stuck in indecision just because you don't have the perfect plan. And how we're going to do that? You guessed it, by taking small, imperfect action today. Usually the most effective path is the one with the least resistance. So choose something that you can commit to doing and check it off your list today. You don't need to do all the things, but you do need to do something. Keep working on the tiny things, and that tiny progress will energize you for tackling even the biggest goals. All right. Stop derailing yourself because your performance isn't perfect. So, we know you wait for the perfect time, you critique your plan, and then you get to it, and then you decide that it's still not good enough. You finally take an action, and then you mess up. Sometimes a lot, and sometimes epically. We all do. I have definitely done that myself. You keep trying to do all the things right, it's still not right, and since you failed to get it perfect, often you end up giving up entirely. Hands up if you have let this happen to you. This is what I call being stuck on the diet roller coaster, and despite its name, it's really no fun at all. How to overcome? Well, you're going to stay on track by working on your mindset. If you're going to stop looking at setbacks as failing, and if you start looking at them as learning opportunities for growth, you'll dramatically reduce the number of times you end up quitting. We can stop letting them feel like a failure when we know that we are meant to learn from it, and instead we can make continued progress instead of quitting. Bonus, because you're no longer failing, you don't need to give up. You can simply keep adjusting your course as you learn from the setbacks, and eventually, through that consistent action, you can reach all of your goals. A lot of ways that perfectionism can keep us from reaching our potential, but it doesn't have to. If we face it head on and take some deliberate, consistent action, we can get ourselves unstuck, manage our overwhelm, and make real progress. I want to hear from you. Let me know, what will you do to stop perfectionism from taking over and blocking your success? Which imperfect action step will you start with? Let me know in the comments. Also, as I mentioned, I'm going to plan to do these lives weekly, so if you have any other questions or burning topics you want covered, I would love for you to leave those in the comments below as well. I'm Coach Christy signing off with your reminder that lasting change comes from the inside out.